Alright, we're back. I loaded it 2 cycles back and to see if they will fix this. It doesn't look like this has a problem, but we're not going to fix this. Back, we're going to deconstruct. No, deconstruct. And let's do what we did before. Red alert. Everybody has to get the job done. We're not going to play, oh, it's blah, blah, blah. No. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. I don't want you to fix. I want you to deconstruct. Is this difficult? Turn this on. Fix my pipes. I hate steam engines. That should be good. Alright, did we get... I can't remember if we have our Rocketeers. Where's Bonnie at? Yeah, they're both ready to go. So that was the first problem, was that this was supposedly stuck. It was not. It was just a bug. So this steam wasn't getting in here because it was under the, it was buried. It was a buried object, so you can't put the steam in. Even the little pipe can go through there. And then we obviously saw the stuck bug again, which has not been fixed. I got them up at P. There's no to it. Oh my gosh, mop this crap up. It's just annoying when we're playing along and the game just is like, oh, we're just going to bug out for no reason. Why did it break? Don't know. We should have a... Yeah. Now the other rec room. 3 morale. This idiot's falling asleep. What are we doing next? Well, we still have steel to be made. And you'll see that, like, you'll get rid of a ladder or something, and the duplicate will be just standing in midair. I don't know if that... I think that's happened on this. That's You'll see that happen from time to time. It still hasn't. They still haven't fixed that. I don't understand why they're not eating the stuffed berry, because it's a better quality food. But hey, you don't want to eat stuffed berry, you don't have to eat the stuffed berry. How are the power systems doing now that we're drawing 2,400 watts? Well, they're a little bit under, but they're staying above 50%. Not easy running a colony without coal. I'll tell you that right now. What else do we want to do? Mop all this up. What's the next plan? Well, let's get the rockets up into space first, before we do anything else. All right, you. Bonnie, get in there. Lindsay, get in there. Two freaking... Alright, let's open the doors and launch the rockets. Now, unfortunately, we can't do any more research until we get back from our mission. And then we can get our solid fuel thruster and the hydrocarbon combustion engine. So, what are we going to do in the meantime? Well, in the meantime, we need to do something with water. Since we have a lot of it, I think something needs to be done with it. Yeah, and also this thing. And we don't want that liquid to be dumped into our tank up here. We want it to be dumped into the chlorine area, which is still over here. Over here? Over here. Oh, it's way down here. Way down here. Over here. Yeah. Where's that chlorine tank? Ah, here we go. Liquid. Crude oil. Not enable auto bottle. And we put this on a 6. And all the stuff they mopped up. We've dropped into the tank. Oh, we're using a lot of power apparently. Wonder what all the power is being used by. Could be this thing right here. Could be. I've got I've got an idea. This is a bad idea, but I think I'm gonna do it. Magma, water. Magma, water. Magma needs to meet water. However, before we do something so drastically stupid, I think it would behoove me to move all the water that's remaining. This is all this water into that holding tank, as it were. Because, well, there's a lot of water still left on the map that needs to get moved. Are rockets returning? Okay. As our battery's doing now. But I shut down both of those things. Much better. Let's turn one of them on. How did carbon dioxide get in there? Somehow a blob of carbon dioxide got in there. Don't know how that happened. But it's not important, I'm sure. Okay, so we need to drill. Like this. Yeah. So it's going to be something about like this, where we tear the rest of the map up. I think the whole map needs to go. I think all of it. And the only thing... somebody's stuck again. So right about there. So this is going to take probably 60 cycles to do. Like a good 60 cycles, at least. Now, there's a lot of drilling to do. A lot of building. But you know, things just have to get done. Alright, if we're gonna play around with some water, you know, we need to make sure there's enough water to play around with. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually start at the top. So, as soon as I get all this built to the top, we'll do this. Like, oh my gosh, there's even more up here, isn't there? Well, that's fine. Well, we'll have something to do. I foresee some of this water getting into here. Let me build this on a 6. Right. Freaking duplicates. Harold, listen, you moron. Get your stupid head out of there and don't come back. No, Max, move there. Do we have enough room for all this water? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, regenerative. Yay. Worthless trait. I do have one suggestion for those of you who would like to play on a water world. Don't. This is insane. It's absolutely crazy. The amount of water we have. Let's check our rockets. Make sure that they're going to be good to go. We're just going to send them off again. Same place. Ah, yes, we have to retract the doors. Hello? Even with all the solar power, we're still rolling. We're still using a lot of power. I'm setting it low on power, let's put it that way. Okay. See, I'm not going to make you watch me drill all this out. Because that's all this... Oh my gosh, would you guys get over here and build this? I'm going to say, it looks like May's stuck again. Is she going to die? Oh, cool steam vent. Yeah, because we need more water. We need more water. What we'll do is we'll start drilling from this side down, work our way down, 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 down. Drop all this water into the bottom of the map. We have another geyser here. Hopefully I have enough room for it. I'll have to just keep on checking, but I think I do. I mean, it looks like a lot of water, and it probably is, but yeah, no, we just have to drill the map out. So what I'm going to be doing is basically drilling for the next probably 60, 70 cycles. What do we find? Another terrestrial planet. So we'll start from here, work our way down, and then I'll move my way, probably rolling up a ladder. This is not a lot, but it's still going to be a lot of drilling. Still lots of drilling. Let's close this up. What I'm essentially going to do is just dump the natural gas into the atmosphere. Not even care, because we're just going to... It's reached that point where... Don't care about the... I don't care about the atmosphere. All of our base is up to the north. So... What? You just get to the point where you're like, it's fine. I won't block it in, of course. And then just dump the stuff into outer space, probably. Let's cut all this out. And it will be quite a while before. And I'll just run rockets back and forth a few times. Get some items going. Also, we want to make sure we're making steel. Oh yeah, we've got plenty of room. So what I'll be working on in the background is drilling all this out. Everything's got to go. We've got to drill the rest of the map out. And then I won't send up any other rockets until we're drilled out, until we have everything all the way it needs to be. And then we'll do some, advanced stuff. Like stuff. I'll keep making steel in the background. I won't be taking on any more duplicates. I don't know if you guys want to watch me drill out all of this. This is just insane amount of drilling to do. But it is a lot less than the other side. So I don't think it takes as long as the other side. Technically speaking, of course. Guys might want to get out of there because I'm going to seal this up. Listen. Turner, move your stupid bobblehead. There we go. So this is what it's going to look like for about the next 60 cycles or so. Yeah, all got to go. And I'm probably going to, make some coffee. Consider my life choices. Things like that. While I'm doing this, maybe. Could probably, hit the edge yet? Yes, this is the edge. And we have some pretty good drillers, and this is taking a while. Some pretty good drillers and some pretty good builders, so not going to be a slow or a quick project, let's put it that way. Oh, did we get our research done? We did. And because we have enough drillers, I can do 3 levels at a time, and they should be able to keep up with each other as they drill forward. Should being the operative and keyword. But these duplicates, and yeah, all of this. All of this has got to... And it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot at all. But it's still a lot. Steam engines are coming back. And I'll probably send them out one more time. And all this needs to go as well. This is what I'm going to be doing for the next 60, 70, 80 cycles, 100 cycles, however long it's going to take. That's what's got to get done. So the whole rest of the map I'm just going to dig out. Get all the water consolidated into one space. And maybe think about my life choices for the next few hours. Like, is this a good idea? Is this something that I want to do? You know, will I be proud of drilling out the map? Will I have done my best? I think the answer is a wholeheartedly, soundedly yes. Oh. I mean, what else? The other thing is like, what are you going to do after you drill the map out, right? And you go to explore space. Well, there's a whole bunch of other buildings we can build. Well, I don't know, because I haven't found it. I was going to do a magma, a petroleum boiler. Yes, petroleum boiler. I've never built one before. And I would like to try to build one. But I haven't found any volcanoes yet in a good spot. So maybe on the next asteroid, like the fiery asteroid, we'll do something like that. We use heat. Like lots of heat for stuff. But yeah, so this is going to be it's going to be a while, folks. This is going to be a while. And sometimes, you know, when you're doing crazy projects like this, you just wonder why you're doing it. And the reason you're doing it is because you can, and it's fun. And you want to. So that's why you do stuff like. That's why you do these crazy projects. Because if you don't, then what's the point in buying the game? What's the point in playing the game? Let me see what kind of crazy stuff I can do. The other thing I was thinking about is the next play. I always think about the next playthrough that I want to do, and I'm not going to do the cold map. I've done that cold map before, and it's just cold. That's all it is. It's just a cold map. It's not exactly hard, and it's not exactly challenging. It's not hard. It's kind of challenging, but you just heat up the environment, to where you want, and it's not as resource rich as the first asteroid, and obviously not as well. That's not true, because in the cold asteroid there are huge glaciers, and some of them have glaciers in them. There's lots of water available, so there's lots of liquid available that you can use. And so it doesn't have as much water as this planet does. This is insane, the amount of water we have. So the next playthrough I want to do is the one, I think it's Volcania, where it's hot. Not the Badlands. And not Iridio. I think it's Volcania. Is what I want to do. We'll try that one. We'll do like magma channels, and I'll bump up the difficulty level with suits that they have to repair them and things like that. I normally don't like to do repairs in the game, and it's not because it's harder. It doesn't really necessarily make the game harder, because once you get either one, a Dreco and or a reed fiber seed, you're good. You'll be perfectly fine, and you just use poo water, I'm just big on Drecos. I think Drecos are the bomb. You don't have to put any effort into Drecos except for a rancher, and you get food from it, and you get phosphorite from it, and you get plastic from it. So hey, it's a win. Absolute win for me. I don't like the smooth hatches. I've used them before. They're if you don't want to refine the metal, they're perfectly fine. Natural way to do it, but I just rather use a metal refinery. But yeah, just get yourself some Drecos, man. That's just the way to go. No, don't be shy. So I think, um, let's see, three layers I think they can do with all the duplicates that we have with the drilling capacity. So yeah, I think we're going to do Volcania, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that planet, how that's going to work out, because we'll do magma channels. I'll try to mess around with the heat quite a bit. Obviously, we're going to be doing steam power. I mean, if it's going to be, you got magma, you got to do steam. I've really enjoyed working on this. I really have enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun to build. And, quite frankly, I could have extended this all out to here. And this is still 2,000 degrees over here. What's it over here? 1,400 degrees. We got plenty of power left here. This is at 2,000 degrees still. There's lots of power left in this area. 400, 600. So when it does reach around 350 degrees, we'll have sucked all the heat out and converted it. But yeah, I've enjoyed working with this magma, building this. This isn't right. This is not right though. There's something I did in here. I don't know what it is. I think I put the pipe in wrong, but it still works. We could have built the whole floor, like the whole floor of this. And there's still so much magma left. Look at all that. So yeah, Volcania, I think we're definitely going to play around with magma. We're going to play around with, I'm going to try to build a petroleum boiler. First time I'll ever have done that. And I wanted to do one on this map, but I haven't found a volcano to mess around with. You need like a minor, you need at least one minor volcano, and you need, it's a tough build. I've never built one before. So we're going to play around with Volcania. And there's still some stuff that I want to do on this map, though. There's actually quite a bit of things that I want to do on this map. But I am kind of looking forward to... And the next one I do, I want to get about 30 duplicates. I usually stick around 20-ish to 20. The last put through I would have 28, 24. I usually stick around 20s. And when you go above 24 duplicates, you need a second Rodriguez or two mini Rodriguez, two four pumps is what you need to do that. And also thought about doing the 100 dupe challenge where you get 100 dupes on your base. That would be that'd be a lot of fun, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm ready for that mentally anyway. And quite frankly, I don't know if my beast of an older computer can handle the calculations needed to run it correctly. We're talking 100 duplicates on a map, all needing calculations, time and space. It wouldn't be hard. It was just there'd be a lot of micro management at first to try to, and there'd be a lot of foresight. You have to plan, like where your food's gonna be, you could not run hatches for very long. You'd have to set up lots of range. You'd have to have lots of different types of food, I think, for your duplicates. I would set up pinch of plants and bristle blossoms. Try to grow some wild food probably, because once you run out of like mushrooms, if you could grow them wild, then you can make mushroom wraps, and you wouldn't need slime in order to do it. So having pips around. And the rules that most people set up is like, every time there's a duplicate, you gotta make a choice. You gotta take the duplicate until you get 100 of them. Like, oh my gosh. And so yeah, the manpower, the duplicate power would be pretty nice. But the fact that you got 100 of them running around doing all kinds of stuff, oh my gosh. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. That should be something interesting to think about. I think our rockets are back. I think they're back anyway. Oh, look. More. Have you returned? You've returned from their voyages. Alright, we can let you guys out. I was looking over I don't know if you want to call it the expansion. I guess it's the expansion. But it does not call to me at all. Like I was looking at the some of the people and some of the things that they were building, and I was like, this just doesn't seem fun. Like the nuclear power, and you have to use bees to to enrich uranium. That just it sounds like it sounds and looks like a grind to me. Don't dig it up or you lose half the mass, and after you've lost half the mass, then what I do like about it is you can go to other planets. That's what I really like about it. That is kind of cool. That's very cool that the developers did that. I really like that. But I really like the fact that you go to different asteroids and do different stuff there. But I don't like the nuclear power. I don't like the rad bolt system. And I don't like the fact that you can fire stuff off to other planets using like a gun. And the whole rocket system I really don't like at all. Not that rockets didn't need a little overhaul and a little TLC, because you stick a duplicate in there for ages and they're just kind of sitting in a shelf, and they kind of did it right where you have to keep them alive inside of the command capsule, so you have to build a bathroom and wait for them to do that. But that just got incredibly micromanagement, and that's not what I'm looking for in a game that is all about automation. I guess it would be micro until you got to the point of getting to the planet, and then you could just kind of not worry about it so much, because that just does not seem like a lot of fun to me. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll try it and think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but watching some of the other folks who have played with nuclear power and rad bolts and things like that, directing the rad bolts and shooting a freaking gun. If you want to send water off to another planet, you can do that. I think it would be a lot more challenging if you had to send it in a rocket. And I don't like the changes to rockets either. Like the rocket systems that we have now are very realistic in terms of hydrogen and oxygen as fuel. Like a carbon dioxide rocket and a sugar rocket. Like, really? That's what you're gonna give me? There's other propellants that we can use. I don't mind. Like, steam is kind of goofy, but it's kind of introductory to rocketry, so you can get kind of used to it. But no, a nuclear-powered rocket? Really? No, you have to use propulsion. You have to use some type of propulsion for it to work. And I do like the games loosely. I mean, it is a game, so there is that, like, suspension of reality type things. But at the same time, I still like a little dose of reality with the games that I'm playing. I can suspend disbelief for quite a few things. But sometimes it's hard to suspend disbelief on certain other things. But I don't know yet. I haven't played it, so I can't say for certain that I would not want to play it. I just can. It's kind of like you see a movie preview, and you're like, yeah, I think I'll watch that. And it turns out it was a really good movie, and you like it, and that's great. And then you like see a movie preview, and you're like, this thing's gonna suck. And then you go see it, and it's really good. You don't, or you see a movie preview, and it looks really good, but it ends up sucking monkey butt. And you're like, that was a mistake. But what you gonna do? I mean, you don't know until you actually try it. So yeah, I'll give it a whirl after I've finished all the things that I want to do in the base game, and then maybe move on to. But I do want them to work out some more of the bugs, because there are a lot of them, sire. There are still some. It's still buggy. And you saw in the previous video, the dudes were just standing there. They weren't moving. Like, that's not healthy, and that never happened to me anyway. And I played a lot of the game. I played a lot of the base game. That never happened to me. Where guys just standing on nothing and not moving, and then you have to build a tile below them or destroy the tile that they're standing on, then rebuild it. And God help you if you don't have Atmos suits and they're in water, because the duplicates get called to lunch and then they drown. You're like, this isn't right. This is not right, man. It's not right. So I'd like the game to. I'd like to let them age the game a little bit and fix some of the bugs. That's one of the reasons I don't play. I tend to play older games, well-established games that you don't really have to worry about. I mean, you're gonna come across bugs. It happens in every game. It's just the way it is. But some of the older games, they're solid. Yeah, you'll come across an occasional bug, something weird will happen. Some weird programming glitch or something. But mostly, that's why I don't play new releases that come out immediately. When XCOM 2 came out, oh my God, was that game buggy? It crashed so often. It was just, it was horrible. And then, one of the things where you could stand there and watch the enemy warp to different locations of the map. You're like, okay, yeah, this is fair. This is fair. You could they'd be like right over here, and they would warp over here. Like, what just happened? Yeah, and it took them a while to fix a lot of those bugs, but it happens when they come up with new games and they don't beta test them on a large player base, because they want to keep it secret, keep it safe, and then you get bugs. They play on the most awesome machines. The developers have all these awesome machines that got the greatest and latest hardware and software, and they don't consider that some people don't have the latest and greatest hardware and software and bugs. And how could you not catch some of this stuff? If you're a developer, how could you not catch enemies warping or people getting stuck in walls, or just weird stuff and stuff like this that happens in Ani? These are minor bugs compared to some of the games. Oh my gosh, they're so buggy. Pre-releases, I don't play pre-releases, and a lot of people do. Good on them. Like, I couldn't stand to do it though. Like, it's not something I could do. Like, in a lot of ways, those guys are kind of doing the beta testing for them. Like, oh, hey, do this and add this. Great idea. Like, I'm not opposed to it. It's not something I'm into. I think I like to play my games that have aged well, that have a little bit of proper programming and debugged and all that good stuff. Oh, we've made a lot of progress, in fact. Here I am jabbering away. Oh, like State of Decay 2? That, oh my god. When that game first came out, like, first of all, I love the first State of Decay. I thought that was just brilliant. It was fun. It was janky, yeah. There was a lot of goofy stuff that would happen. But they came out with State of Decay 2, and I played the crap out of that game. On the original. Buggy bugs. You know, oh my god. And there's still bugs in the game. Even after, I think, 24, 27 patches, there's still minor bugs in the game. And yeah, they're working on it, and they're still trying to perfect the game. But oh my gosh, the first game was so bad. I remember driving, leaving the base in the car, and driving around a bloater, and he blew up. And if you've never played State of Decay, there's these little dudes, and they're called bloaters, and they're a zombie type, and they blow up when they get close to you, and the gas is poisonous. And I drove around the thing, right? And no big deal, right? I drove back. The bloater gas was still there after 45 minutes or something crazy. No, I don't know if it was 45 minutes. But it was like, it must have been 15, 20 minutes. The gas was still there, and it's supposed to dissipate over time. It's, it's gas. It's supposed to dissipate. And I drove right through it because I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be safe. No problem, right? No, it was still there. I had to reload the game twice to get it to go away. Yeah. And that was when it was, there was not like Lethal Zone and Dread Zone and all that kind of stuff. It was just regular State of Decay. And they have fixed a lot of those issues. Cars warping into weird places, and I mean, there's still problems with their cars. If you've watched my State of Decay playthrough, you've seen them. They still have some problems, but oh my gosh, it was so bad when it first came out, and it's fun as and in the base game, the bugs aren't so bad. Like, it's not a big deal, It's not a big deal. But if you're playing on really hard levels, like I'm playing on the Lethal Zone right now, and you have so much margin, you literally have no margin of error. There's no margin of error in that game. If you screw up, your character is dead. Your character dies. And so if there's an error not caused by you, if there's a problem not caused by you, it is not fun. And the game does not have, like here in Oxygen Not Included, there's an autosave feature every cycle. The State of Decay, it always saves. So everything you do, it's Iron Man game. It's basically an Iron Man game. So everything you do stacks. Like, you can't go back and, you screw up, you've screwed up. You got a character killed because you were just doing something stupid. Well, that's on you. There's no getting around that. But to have that type of system when your game is still buggy, oh man, that's worse than horrible, because the player can't do anything about it. Like, the player is stuck. Like, you can't roll the game back like you saw me do earlier. Like, oh yeah, there's a problem here. Let me roll the game back. It's the previous save. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't anything that I did. It was just a bug. No big deal. Let me roll it back. This is Iron Man. Like, it just auto saves constantly. I don't know what the save frequency is, but it's one of those games that there's zero margin, and especially in the higher difficulties, Nightmare and Lethal Zone. Lethal Zone especially, there's very little margin for error. You can goof around, you can mess up, but you can't mess around. You can't really goof around. You gotta really know what you're doing, and you have to stay focused on your play style and what you're doing. And if you don't, wreck city, and you're doomed. You're dead. You're gone. Hasta la vista, baby. It's all over with. characters are going to die. Community is going to die. And so not having a way to roll back your save and a situation like that where you do have a clear bug in the game, it's painful. It's painful. Unfortunately, the game has evolved to the point where there's some janky stuff that goes on every now and again, but it is nothing like it used to be. You know, people's eyes, I still complain about it like, yeah, no bugs in this game. You'll hear me say that. No bugs in this game. You know, but the game has come a long way, and I do acknowledge that. Like, they've done a heck of a job cleaning up the things that were broken. And Clay has done that as well. I mean, they fixed a lot of bugs since they merged the two. And this guy's kind of a rant, if you will. They fixed a lot of things. Yeah. Stuck, are we? See, this is another thing. Like Turner said, I'm just going to go build this, and I'm going to build that, and I'm going to build this, instead of drilling this out and drilling himself out. See, moving. Nope. Can we prioritize a 6? Like that? No, he's too stupid. See, now he has a stair step to get out. But he doesn't want to take it, so... Yeah, now he's finally going to go. Like, he can leave right now. And there's nothing preventing him from leaving. There he goes, finally. But yeah, they fixed a lot of the bugs. They fixed a lot of the things that were wrong. The hand washing one, if you watch the previous playthrough, hand washing one, they fixed that. They still haven't fixed the building up in space problem. That hasn't been fixed yet, but I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're working on it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the skinniest. Like, if you're gonna, that's one of the reasons I don't like playing the new games, the brand new stuff. Because I like playing on hard difficulty. Once I understand the mechanics of the game, I really like playing on harder difficulties. Oh, why? And that's why I don't play. Like hard difficulty. There's some games I love playing on really hard difficulty, and other games that I don't. This is one of them that I don't like playing on hard difficulty. Not because it's so hard, it's because it becomes monotonous. And I like grinding. Grinding is fun if you know how to grind and have fun doing it. This is grind worthy. As you can see, this has taken an hour. We've been drilling this out for an hour. This is grindy, right? And it's also monotonous. And there's no benefit from doing this except for clearing the map. It's the only benefit. It's the only benefit. There's nothing really that we're going after. We're not, we're not going to a prize. A lot of games that are grindy have a prize behind them. Like, yeah, you've ground, you worked it, so here's your reward. You get something for the grind. This, no, you're just drilling, and then like having to fix Atmos suits and that kind of thing. Increasing the amount of food the duplicates have to eat, like 2,000 calories per duplicate, to make them, ravenous hunger and, was it ravenous hunger? What's the other one? Oh, the morale, draconian morale. Like, that to me, yeah, it's fun for, I don't know, 100 cycles because it's a challenge. But after that, you're like, meh, what else you got for me? Because you solved the morale problem with your duplicates in the first 100 cycles, quite literally. All you do is, you build a park for them to go through, and you give them good food. That's it. First 100 cycles, problem solved. Yeah, no big deal. 150 cycles. You give them good food, you give them the barbecue, and you give them a park, and you give them some type of entertainment. Boom, problem solved. And it's not hard. Like, we ran for a long, long, long time without an entertainment center up here. No stress, hardly any stress. And they have, I don't have them like super skilled or anything like that, but they're doing their job. They're getting the job done. And if you run it, and that's why I don't like let's play on Draconian and super hard with the food. Like, you just grow more food. And all it does is take you longer. I'll do that on one of the playthroughs. It's not, people think it's like, oh, we're going to make this super hard. It's not really that hard. It's just a matter of resource allocation. And you say, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to get, enough food for the duplicates? Well, I need to grow this many bristle blossoms. I need to grow this much mealwood, meal ice. I need to make this many, problem solved. And it's not difficult in the way you think of difficulty. It's difficult when you start because you don't have any resources. You have nothing. You have very little resource to work with. And so that's where the difficulty comes in. The difficulty comes in the early game. In the early game where you're trying to establish. After that, it's pie and cake. Once you've got yourself set up, and how many ranchers do you get? Well, you get as many ranchers as you need in order to make enough barbecue. You get 2 cooks. You get 2 cooks instead of 1, because you have to produce double the food, right? So you make 2 cooks. You get a farmer to make, it's just basically doubling up on everything. You don't get as many drillers. That's fine. Okay, we don't give them as many drillers because I have to stay under the oxygen limit and so on and so forth. But it's a problem. It's easy solved. And I'll do it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is not that big of a deal. It's challenging. It's a challenging start, but it's not as hard as. It's not as hard as you would think. The first time you do it, you're really worried about being able to sustain because you've never done it before. But after you kind of get the hang of it, you're like, meh, this was not as hard as I thought it would be. It's actually kind of easy. This was a lot easier than I suspected it would be. So that's why I don't really play on the super draconian stuff. And oh yes, we're gonna make it super hard, and we're gonna have all the. It's just like not a big deal because it doesn't give you as much satisfaction as when you first start playing and you're doing things that you. Finish the job. You guys got yourself stuck. Ooh, hydrogen vent. Nice. You guys got yourself stuck. You have unstuck yourselves. Yeah, like I said, it's not as difficult as you would think. You're like, oh, super hard food. And it doesn't give you any sense of satisfaction that you solve the problem because all you need to do is double down, double up on oxygen. You don't need to double up on oxygen production. You need to double down on food production and morale production. That's all you got to do. It's not a hard thing. You prioritize that first, and then you prioritize expansion. So that's how you do it. It's not. Ooh, gas giant. It's not a thing where you're like, oh man, I achieved something great here. I fed duplicants that are hungry. Wow. Yeah, like I said, we'll do it on an episode. We'll do it on one of the maybe the next map, and you'll see. It just becomes monotonous, and you're like, ah. I like map challenges, not map challenges. Like, how am I going to get around this thing here and fix the base this way? How am I going to drill this out and move around this way and build the bed. That's what I really like about the game, is that it's a problem solving game in the early game, and then later in the mid game you're like, you know what you're doing, you get this stuff done. In the later game, it's rote. You just get your rockets going and boom, you're ready to go. No, you guys are not getting, who is it, Ren, whatever. And you're like, whatever. It's not a big deal. You don't get the same type of satisfaction as if you use like the draconian stuff and all that kind of stuff. You don't get the same type of satisfaction as doing something difficult, like on a hard map. That's what makes a really good game, not the level of difficulty of eating and your clothes are needing repair. Things like that's not difficult. That's just rote maintenance. And yeah, it can be challenging. It's just going to add more time to your game. That's all it's going to do. So instead of, being outside of your biome within, say, 200 cycles, it's going to take you 250 or maybe 300 cycles, because your duplicates have to grow food. They have to grow more food, which takes more time, which means you can't get out into the wide world as fast. It just adds time to your game. It's not a puzzle challenge. It's not a mental challenge. Oh, okay. It takes 5 mealwood seeds for 1 duplicate, so I need to grow 10. Okay, I just grow 10. I got 3 duplicates, which means I have to have 30 of them. Okay, add more. We gotta add 10 per duplicate, right? It's just going to take time. That's all it does. That's your challenge. And then, like, oh, we got to repair our suits. Well, that just takes time. So we need somebody to take care of the suits, and we're gonna need another person. We're gonna need a farmer now to do all the food, and we're gonna need another cook. So you're not expanding as fast. You're not moving as fast, and that's what could set a lot of people like, oh, this is boring. And it does become boring because you're doing a lot of rote things. You're doing a lot of things monotonous, like gonna take them 8 cycles to get all the food together, and because it's gonna take 8 cycles to get all the food together, I've lost 8 cycles to going out and doing stuff, and now I gotta wait a little bit longer because now the food is 3 cycles later, the mealwood's going. I gotta go harvest it. So yeah, maybe I ranted too much about that, or rambled too much about that. But yeah, good map challenges. Love them. Love hard maps. Love things that make me think, puzzle things out. How am I going to do this? Now, moving the base was a great example. I did not need to move the base. We had a perfectly functional base right here. It was a beautiful base. Why is there all this hydrogen down here? I don't know. Is there a broken thing? Oh, I see what happens. I see. The hydrogen froze. The water froze. All right. There we go. There's still 11 kilograms of it. There's a lot of it still. Yeah. That came back to bite me in the butt. That's the kind of fun stuff I like. Why is there so much hydrogen on my base? That's because the water froze. Doofus. Like, where's this hydrogen coming from? Coming from the bottom of the base is where it's coming from. Now it's going to get up here. It's going to float up here. And then it's eventually going to float all the way up here. All the way up here into the top of the base. So we'll just, suck the hydrogen out and do something else with it. Oh, the good side, we've been filling up our oxalite. Do we get... Yeah. Huh? Solid cargo is next. Get some hydrogen in here. We'll have to fix. We made a mistake. Oopsie. It'll sort itself out, I'm sure. Like, that's something that's my fault. I screwed up. I shouldn't have done that. You know, I wasn't paying attention. Why did I put Weezeworts in there? Just for fun. And, you know, look what happened. Try something. See what happens. These fives. And I'm sure I would have noticed sooner or later, right? No, I wouldn't have noticed. Like I said, everything has to go. So we'll fix the hydrogen problem. That's easy to fix. We're just going to put a pump up in the top of the base. In the... we'll put a pump up here in the... whatchamacallit, the thingamajobber. And we'll just suck out all the hydrogen from top of the area. But the plus side is it's going to help cool this area. And the downside is it's going to get on top of the base. Got trapped in there, so we'll just need to pop these open. And then it'll flow out. Not a big deal. No problems at all. Yeah, we got quite a bit done. Like, we only have this much more to go. That much more to go. But it's been, what, an hour and 30 minutes? And I've actually, I got talking. That's what happened. Got talking about things. I was having musings and thoughts and such. This is what happens. You start thinking. Hurts your brain. So what I'll probably do off screen is finish drilling all this stuff out and take care of the hydrogen problem, which is not really a problem. We're just going to pump it into a big storage tank. It's not a big deal. And then finish drilling all this out. Get the hydrogen cleaned up, and then we'll play around with the rockets some more. Get some rockets firing up into space. Oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. Oopsie. Somebody made a mistake. Not sure who that would be. Not my fault. Can't be my fault. It's Duplicate's fault. I'm not going to take responsibility for the things that I've done. That would be crazy. Yeah, sorry, starting to get up there. We'll have to... yeah. We'll have to take care of that. I'm going to shut this off. And what else am I going to need to do? So what I'll end up doing off screen is I'll build a pump right about here, or over here, somewhere in here, and we'll just suck up all this hydrogen, and I'll just put it into a big area like this. Just dump it in there. We'll use it later on. I could just dump it in outer space, but I want to keep it. Oh, I'm curious to know, have we gotten rid of all the oil down on the bottom? Oh, we have, haven't we? Cool. Mop that up. See, another place we can dump the hydrogen. Well, it's not sealed up. It's kind of funny. It was just slowly leaking out. And slowly making its way to the top of the base. And like, huh, I wonder why we've got so much hydrogen up the top of the base. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just be able to pump up there and, put it somewhere. And I'll finish drilling the rest of the map out. But, let's see what we have here. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. And, of course, listening to a madman. We'll see you next time.